Zestimates are guesses, guesstimates actually, and when sellers trust them without question, they can lose time, money, and momentum. I've seen it happen, and it's totally avoidable. Here's what you really need to know before you put your home on the market. Let's start with the basics. A Zestimate is Zillow's attempt to estimate your home's value using a computer model. It pulls from public records, past sales, tax data, and whatever it can find online. Now, to be clear, Zillow does an outstanding job creating a smooth, visually appealing experience for home buyers. Their site is intuitive, their tools are user-friendly, and they've invested millions into making the home search feel easy and engaging. But when it comes to accurately pricing a home for sale in Shawnee, that's where things break down. Zestimates don't know what your home actually looks like, what it feels like when you walk through, what it smells like, or what it doesn't smell like. They don't know your floor plan or that you back up to a green belt instead of a neighbor's barking dogs and a collapsing above-ground pool. Zillow has never stepped foot in your home, and in a market like ours where values can shift dramatically between neighborhoods, streets, or even one side of the block and the other, that matters. Zillow's model works best in neighborhoods where homes are built around the same time, with similar floor plans, finishes, and lot sizes. And to be fair, we do have a few newer communities in Shawnee where that applies. In those areas, it's not as tough to analyze value from a high level. But for the most part, Shawnee isn't like that. Many of our neighborhoods are a mix of ages, styles, and condition levels. You might have a fully updated brick ranch next to a rental property that hasn't seen a renovation in 20 years. One street over, you've got a 1950s home next to new construction, both the same square footage, but completely different in layout and appeal. Relying on a Zestimate is kind of like using GPS to get somewhere you've never been. It can show you the route, maybe even warn you about traffic, but it won't tell you the road is full of potholes or that there's a stalled car just over the hill, or that the shoulder disappears when you might need to pull over. It looks helpful, but it misses the details that actually affect your timing, your safety, and your outcome. I've seen sellers treat a Zestimate like it's the final word, choosing to trust it over hiring a professional who understands the full picture. But just like driving solo without knowing the terrain, pricing without real local insight can leave you stalled or leave serious money on the table. Where's the savings now? Here's what I see too often in the Shawnee market. Homes that are clearly overpriced, usually because someone trusted an online estimate, leaned on surface-level pricing strategies, or maybe had no strategy at all. Sometimes the seller insisted on a number, or the agent didn't push back by illustrating real data. Right now, and this can happen in any shifting market, there's a lag between what's actually happening and how it's being perceived. Many sellers and even some agents are still betting on the kind of fast-paced activity we saw just a few months ago rather than responding to current conditions. Now, I know just a few sports analogies, and I think it was Wayne Gretzky who said, "You shouldn't skate to where the puck is, but where it's going." Pricing a home isn't about wishful thinking. It's about knowing where the market is heading and positioning yourself accordingly. That's why accurate pricing requires more than just a quick online estimate or an impressive sounding number pulled from the MLS. It requires thoughtful analysis. Here's what that actually looks like. Looking at relevant recent sales, not just anything nearby. Comparing your home to what's actively on the market right now. Factoring in the home's layout, condition, updates, and setting. Paying attention to what buyers are responding to right now in your local market. One of the most important and most overlooked parts of this process is understanding the listings you'll be competing against. Not just the ones that sold 90 days, 6 months, or even a year ago, but the ones buyers are touring this weekend. By the time your home hits the market, buyers are on it like a duck on a June bug. They've already seen the competition, and they're comparing yours to those listings the moment they see it online. That's why presentation matters. And yet, many listings still hit the market with poor photos, no video, or no floor plan, or worse, none of the above. Yes, those homes still may sell, but the question is, did they reach the widest possible audience of qualified buyers? And did they command the strongest price the market would tolerate? To compete effectively, today's listings need to stand out. That means professional photography, floor plans, 360-degree virtual tours, a walkthrough video, and a polished online presence. These aren't extras anymore. At any price, they're the gold standard for a strong showing and a competitive position in the market. But the real test comes when buyers step through the front door. The goal is for them to be already excited and for your home to reinforce that excitement in person. That's how sellers win. What often happens instead is that a high price is tossed out to start strong, only to be walked back later when market response is lukewarm. That's how momentum is lost and value is left on the table. Pricing isn't about puffing the numbers or relying on online estimates. It's about aligning the market and positioning your home to attract serious buyers right from the start. If you're even thinking about selling, whether it's soon or sometime in the next year, don't base your plans on a Zestimate or one-size-fits-all online tool. Those numbers can be fine for casual curiosity or watching the general trends, but they're not the basis for a strong pricing strategy. What actually matters is how your home compares to what's happening in the market right now. What's recently sold, what's currently listed, and what buyers are responding to in real time. That takes context, experience, and access to local data that national tools simply cannot provide. Start with a local market value assessment tailored to your home, based on current MLS data, real-time buyer behavior, and the listings you'd be competing against if you were on the market today. It won't just give you a number, it'll give you perspective, and that makes all the difference when it's time to make the next move. If you've been relying on a Zestimate or another online value tool, I hope this gave you a better sense of how those numbers are created and why they often miss the mark in a market like Shawnee. You deserve more than an automated guess. You deserve insight based on real data, real experience, and a real understanding of what buyers are doing right now. Whether you're planning ahead, getting ready to right size, or making a midlife move to align your home with your lifestyle today, the decisions you make now matter. Let's make sure you're working with the best information available, not just the easiest to access. And if you made it to this point in the video, chances are you're someone who wants to get it right, and that's who I love working with. I've also put together a free guide called How to Increase Your Zestimate to Help Your Home Sell Fast. It explains how Zillow pulls its data, why the numbers might be off, and how to log in, verify your ownership, and update your home's details to help create a more accurate online estimate. You'll find the link in the description below, along with an option to request a local market value assessment tailored to your property. No pressure, just helpful information when you're ready.